It is hard to imagine that the circumstances surrounding the murders of those two little boys could get any worse.
Incomprehensible that any parent could do this to their child. We have now learned that the father attacked his children with a hatchet before they all died of smoke inhalation. Officials say Josh Powell had been planning the horrible crime for quite a while. ABC's Diana Alvear is joining us this morning from Los Angeles with more on the tragedy. Diana.
Rob and Paula, good morning. We were all stunned to hear about that explosion that killed Josh Powell and his two young sons. And now investigators are saying that's exactly how he planned it. Police say no sooner had his two sons entered his home did Josh Powell do the unthinkable. They say he murdered them. Explosions that left his home a charred, smoking mess. A massacre investigators say was premeditated.
There was accelerant spread throughout the house, and we did recover 2 5-gallon gas cans. We've discovered multiple emails that he sent to his pastor, he sent to his cousins. They dictate what to do with the utilities, what to do with his money, what to do with certain aspects of his life.
So ended a family saga that began in 2009 with the disappearance of his wife, Susan. The sole person of interest, Josh claimed he'd taken his sons Charles and Braden camping the last night she was seen. Last week, Josh was again denied custody by a judge. Sunday was to be his first visit with his sons, supervised by a caseworker.
She got locked out. She tried to get in. She pounded on the door. She called 911.
He's disturbed. He just disturbed. The act that he did was cowardly, a desperate act. And he murdered the two innocent grandchildren.
The boys' grandparents said 5-year-old Braden recently said his mother was in the trunk the night they went camping.
He said, well, we stopped somewhere and Mommy and Daddy got out and Mommy didn't come back.
The answers to their mother's disappearance may have died with them. Investigators also said in the days leading up to the explosion, Powell gave away his son's toys to charity, and in his emails to friends said he could not bear to live without his boys. Rob, Paula.
Thank you, Diana. I guess my question all this is that if the psychiatric results, he had not undergone his evaluation just yet. He was ordered to undergo one. To me, the question it raises is did it make sense to have those kids in his house, on his turf, until we knew mentally if he was in a position to handle that, as opposed to a public place or someplace ordered by the court? It just seems like it could have been avoided in some way.
You have to think that this is going to be the benchmark to have that system overhauled in some way. And back to Susan Powell, the investigators in Salt Lake City insist that despite the murder-suicide, that their case is not closed. Not that it's going to, bring a lot of closure for a lot of people at this point. The whole family is gone. What can you do about it at this point? But just a devastating story. I don't know how anybody could do that to their own children.